want to greet in a very special way Commander General of the National Militias, Major General Orlando Ramon Romero Bolivar. The militia united in every quadrant of peace with the plan that we are developing of activation of the militias along the country from east to south, from north to the east, with a capacity, with a defensive capacity for no one to touch Venezuela ever again. Like Cyriano Castro said, when the ships arrive of the imperialism of the empires, the European empires, at that moment they combined against Cyriano Castro an insurrection, a military insurrection of an army of mercenaries paid by the multimillionaire bankman and of Venezuela's history with the last name of Matos. He was despicable, a despicable man, that he was a traitor in complot with the European empires to hand over the Orinoco and to hand over the Maracaibo Lake and the wealthiness of the country. Well, he was selling our homeland. At that moment, he was called Matos. Matos by M, another traitor. Matos, he formed an army and fell upon Caracas, and Cyriano had directly, being as a president, the presidency was at the Casa Amarilla, his desk. It was not Miraflores at the time, and he had to lead the army, and that is the moment that became known as the Battle of Victory, another one, and the triumph of Cyriano Castro on the people, and it was brutal. He crushed Matos, and when he came back by horse, and he was going up the Tazón, he was going to go down to Cautious, he received a telegram that said that there were ships arriving, imperialist from Europe, to the port of La Guaira, from Puerto Cabello, Maracaibo, and among other ports of the nation. That meant that they had a coordination, and there was no cell phone, no WhatsApp, so the political coordination was made at the shadows of the imperialist interest, and immediately Cyriano Castro said, with his braveness, he launched a proclamation that is now for alive and an emblematic phrase for the whole people of Venezuela. The insolent plant of the foreigners pretend to break the sacred land of Venezuela. And what did these people do? They got scared. No, the port of La Guaira, Maracaibo, and the first one who arrived there defended with stones and machetes, and they throw away the ships, and they underestimated the people of Bolivar and Sucre. And did you know who was the civilian leadership to subscribe and for him to receive an arm? San Jose Gregorio Hernandez was the physician of the poor. He was asking for arms to defend the land. Even the opposition leaders, even the strongest opposition leaders from Cyriano, asked him, give us arms to defend the sacred land that they wanted and they pretending to destroy. And this happened in an era in which the country had no state. The civil wars of the 19th century destroyed every attempt of building a state, we had no army, we had no official armed forces and powerful one. There was no empowered people and organized people. On the contrary, Venezuela was at a moment like falling apart piece by piece. The people had no power, no organizations. The great nation that was born and was born by Liberator Simon Bolivar, almost 80 or 90, was ripped away, ripped apart by treason and oligarchies that were traitors of first Bolivar and Zamora. Treason imposed itself throughout the 19th century, and with the great Cyriano Castro, with his nationalist project, wanted to start building a nation. Then they did all of what is known in history. But he stood there, and the Venezuelan people stopped completely the imperialist ships and had a resounding victory that for years was unforgivable for Venezuelans. It demonstrated why we are daughters and sons of the liberators. Today, our people has the power. And that needs to we need to keep boosting this. Quadrants of peace get lost on our sides in the construction of the national power. When they are established, the 5,336 quadrants of peace organized the communes, organized the police power, the militia power, articulated to the armed forces. Venezuela will building itself and will of the concept of a homeland, undefeatable homeland. With our quadrants of peace, we will have an unbreakable homeland of infinite peace. We do not find or seek confrontations, but we are very protective of our people, our land, and our history, which is sacred. Greetings as well, in a special way, for Commander of the Region, Strategic Region for the Integral Defense, Major General Dilio Rodriguez Diaz. To the Dean of the National University, Major Fabio Sabarce, who is the creator of professionals, the professionals of the future. So we are moving forward. We have a contact here in the San Juan Parish, there at the avenue of Jose Angel Lamas in the Eucalyptus neighborhood of the circuit Chavez San Juan. There, Commander General Figuera Valdez as well, of the city capital of Caracas, along with his team of the major state, and along the quadrant of peace that corresponds to the Eucalyptus neighborhood. Go ahead. Chavez is alive, loyal always. Communes are nothing. Commander-in-Chief, the operational zone of defense, integral defense, in Caracas, specifically in the municipality of Libertador, in the San Juan Parish. We are going today to deploy of the 299 quadrants of peace that correspond to the 299 communal circuits, as you very well mentioned. All of this, my commander, with the dream of our supreme commander, Hugo Rafael Chavez Frias, ahead of the communal power, and following your mandate and the support of the Ministry of Security and Peace. Today, Caracas is activating its 299 quadrants of peace, the communal circuits with that people, my commander. Today we are celebrating. You can see how it is reflected here. The people of Caracas, they are on the streets awaiting for the deployment of the 299 quadrants of peace. I am joined by Commander in perfect fusion, popular military and police union, the General Division of Commander of the Zone, number 43 of the National Guard, Herrera Duarte, the Brigadier General Commander of the Police of Caracas, and Commander of the Defense Zone, Integral Defense Zone in Cadenas Briseño, and the General Commissioner Juan González, Commander of the Police, National Police in Caracas, and the protagonist, comrade representing the Communal Circuit number 6 of the Communal Circuit, Hugo Chavez Rodrigo Quijada. My commander, this deployment is to guarantee the peace, security, integrity of the families of Caracas, and we have seen how in a progressive way in all of the territories of the country there has been a deployment of the quadrants of peace in a synchrony with the communal circuits. Today corresponds to the capital city, and I want you to know, my commander, that the operational zone of integral defense follows the framework of the 7T, and specifically in the 30 transformation, which has to do with the security defense, and we are very sure that we came here to strengthen the defense system of the territory, and we are going to keep improving in this union, and we are also going to guarantee an excellent system of intelligence and counterintelligence in our communities, specifically today in the face of the U.S. threats. Commander from the operational defense zone number 81, with all of your people, with all of its security mechanisms and the armed forces, but especially with the militia of the Bolivarian militia, we want to say to the world we are not going to offer no even 1 millimeter of this land, and we are determined to be independent and sovereign. We are going to deploy now the 299 quadrants of peace with all the personal attention to speak the unities. Go ahead to light up the unities for the deployment to guarantee our people of Caracas, like our peace, security, the tranquility. Move on. There they go.